Live. Hello everybody. Okay, so this was meant to be a discussion video. I have scheduling issues because my schedule usually is 180 degrees opposite of everybody else's schedule because I have a weird schedule. But what I figured was, I saw there was a little bit of interest if some of you guys might want to join me on Twitch. Now, I'm trying to do this a seamless recording where I could just export it right over to YouTube. I had to just jump the gun and start the stream right away and just start presenting, not give people a chance to enter the chat room. However, I will, hopefully these guys will join us. I think Title Tyrant and Hero might be wanting to join. I know AJ was supposed to join. I haven't heard from him yet, though. But in the meantime, you know, anybody who wants to jump on in can catch up. But even if we don't have an actual discussion, between myself and other people, I think that yesterday's video that I did is a little bit, actually, I guess this might go up tonight, but it was yesterday's, I recorded it yesterday. Anyway, not important to you guys, but I think when I did my first video, of course it was short. I was on a really short time frame and I had to cut it short, so I want to go a little bit more in depth on things, and I goofed, I didn't put the Pokemon Direct, I didn't get that set up on my screen, but I have, as you can see, the Japanese Pokemon page. I checked it out real quick to see if there might have been anything different from the I guess the North American website. I have the trailer up again. I might look through it again so we can go over in more detail. But anyway, I checked, the trailer looks pretty much the same. Everything looks the same, except the layout of the site is a little bit different, I guess. It's actually kind of cool. Like the backgrounds having screenshots and little clips here of, you can see. It's a little bit different, actually. Let me check. Is it a little bit different? Actually, it's kind of a lot different. I mean, you have the video playing in the background here. But I kind of like, this is cooler. We gotta scroll down a little bit more. So yeah, there's not a whole lot. There is this double pack thing that you can buy both Sword and Shield that's available. It's available in the West as well. I've seen people say it's on Amazon, and I'm trying to, I have a local GameStop that, they treat me really well because I have a lot of years of loyalty with them. I'm hoping that GameStop gets this. They usually don't, but they just do the thing where they give you the poster and stuff. I'm kind of hoping that they have this thing so I could pre-order it through them. But anyway, so nothing much on the website as far as I've seen. Nothing much on the Japanese website that is, that's different, that's incredibly different from what we have on the US website. But, one thing I want to see, yeah, a lot of these guys' names are the same. Like, this guy's name, Hop's name is Hopbu, I guess. And, Magnolia, basically the same name. Sonia is Sonia's name. And, oh, let's see, this one's kind of hard to read. I'm gonna have to look that one. My katakana skills are a little bit rusty. Well, I can do pretty good with some of them, but like some like these with in the T category and the R category are a little bit hard for me. If you guys know how Japanese alphabet works, you might know what I mean. I'm gonna... Whoa, did I just... Okay, yeah. You can't see my cursor, but I'm highlighting things randomly. Alright, let me go back to... Yeah, let me go back to the trailer. We're gonna go a little bit slower. Again, I'm not gonna let the trailer play out, because copyright is a thing. But, let's see. Can we get this... I'll still get this to play... Can I get this to play at part... speed? You're not gonna let me... Oh, there we go. There we go. So let's play at half speed, but just little pieces. So, what do we want? Let's take this shot. We have a protagonist, and then there's Hop here. He has golden eyes. He looks kinda... I don't know how to describe it. He looks... I mean, he reminds me a little bit of How in his, like, smiley, ready to go, like, look on his face. But I wonder what they'll do differently with him. I mean, obviously, being the younger brother of the region's champion is an interesting twist, I think. And, Well, like again, I mentioned this a little bit in the last video, but like with How, where he had, they did this more in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Actually, it's the one thing that I actually kind of liked a little bit more of Ultra Sun and Moon. Pretty much the only thing, I guess, was that they did a little more service to How's arc of living in his grandfather's shadow, and so here you have a similar situation where your rival is going to be living in the champion's shadow, his older brother. So I wonder if you'll have the same, if he'll have a similar dynamic here. So I forget where this was, as long as we're on this thing. Oh yeah. There's something, where Scorbunny fist bumps, and somebody mentioned, like, I wonder if the animations, yeah, there it is. I wonder if the animations will be specific to the Pokemon you pick, because it doesn't seem like the other two starters would fist bump you. But, so that just another way that Scorbunny could be fighting, because he uses his fist to fist bump you. Alright, anyway. So let's skip over, let's go back to, there's Sonia, who is, Sonia and Wooloo, which we'll look at later, are the internet's two favorites from what I've seen. Sonia's kind of got a cool look to her. Oh, and there's, Magnolia, Professor Magnolia. Okay, so I mentioned in the first video I did that it looked like over here, you can't see because I don't have my cursor, but if you see that her necklace, the little charm on it kind of looks like a Z crystal. And, like, I mentioned that, and then I saw somebody on Twitter say, is she part of the Aether Foundation or something, because she's dressed all in white, but like, to me, I'm like, well, that's just a lab coat, because she's a professor, but she is in, like, all light colors with the pastel yellow, and she does have what appears to be a Z crystal on her neck, which would indicate maybe some ties to Alola. I mean, it might just be an Easter egg, it might not be anything. But actually, who knows, it might, like, because we don't know exactly what Dynomax entails, whether it involves a held item, or whether it involves a key item. Well, I mean, I guess we have the bracelet thing, but we don't know if we need a stone inside of it, we don't know if the Pokemon has to hold something. And then the other thing about her is her cane, the little bird on her cane. People were pointing out that it looks like Corviknight, and it kind of does, although it could be another bird Pokemon in this region. It's hard to say. Kind of looks like a Corviknight, but Corviknight has this, like, armored look to it. It's hard to picture that, like, and this is such a smooth, I don't know. It could be, though. I mean, it certainly, with the head, looks like a Corviknight head. One thing I'm noticing right now about Sonia, this is a little bit picky, but I see that she has her purse, like, over her shoulder, and then she's got her jacket over top of it. Now, I guess that's convenient when you think about it from, like, functional. When you go outside and it's hot and you need to take off your jacket, you don't have to put down your purse. So, I guess maybe that's the reason. But it looks a little interesting, like, it looks a little unusual. I mean, I'm not, like, knocking it or anything, but it's just an interesting thing to design a character like that, because, I don't know, it's not something you normally, like, look, if you look at, Hop and our player character, we have our bags outside of our outerwear, so I guess it's just because of how, it's probably, like, from a practical point of view, actually, it's probably because she has a very loose-fitting jacket, and to put the purse on the outside of the loose-fitting jacket would cause more issues with the computer model, so it's probably more of a functional limitation sort of thing. But anyway, I went off on that tangent. I also noticed she's got glasses that look like, they don't look like sunglasses, but she doesn't have them on her head, so does she need reading glasses? Like, I mean, the glasses seem to, like, go along with, like, she's the professor's granddaughter and her assistant and other stuff. I don't know. But anyway, she does look cool. She's cool. She's the internet's favorite right now. We had Scottish Pokemon Trainer was everybody's favorite after the first trailer. Now we have Sonia and Wooloo, which we'll get to Wooloo, like I said. Oh, let's actually do it. So we have Wooloo, Gossifleur, and Dreadnought. I finally remembered all three of their names. I basically gave my impression of these guys, but they're pretty cool. And other things to note about these three that I don't think I mentioned before. The Gossifleur is obviously the name in English comes from gossamer and fleur as in flower, but also somebody pointed out how I think it's if you turn upside down, Gossifleur looks like the fleur de lis symbol, which is like the national symbol of France, and it represents it's an abstract sort of floral image, and it's like a very common symbol, but connection to Kalos confirmed because it's French? Maybe not, because we also had what do we have? Like, we had a koala in Hawaii, and we didn't get an Australian region, so it doesn't necessarily tie in directly to the region, but I mean, might be a nice little Easter egg, like, hey, remember Kalos was a thing? Haha. Actually, Fleur de lis, if I remember correctly, is Lysander's name in... Did they name him that in the Japanese or the French? I don't know. In one of the versions, Lysander's name is Fleur de lis. I was not thinking of bringing that fact up, otherwise I would have verified what language it was, but there you go. Wooloo has the Fluffy ability. I think it's one of its abilities, which is, I believe, Beware's ability, where it doubles your defense but makes you weak to fire, which is interesting. And it's kind of cool to see another Pokemon have the Fluffy ability. And if any Pokemon is fluffy, it's certainly Wooloo. Wooloo is best mon. I've seen so much fan art of Wooloo, like with the little like twin pigtail things, dressing up as Hatsune Miku, or dressed up as Lily with the hat. Hey, Ionite, welcome to our discussion/analysis video. So, we were just talking about these three mons. Oh yeah, Dreadnought, I remember, I looked up, I tried to run these guys' names through Google Translate, their Japanese names. I didn't get, like, just to try to see if it came out that it was based on anything. Like, which one was it? Dreadnought. Dreadnought's name came out, and I don't know, because again, this is Google Translate, and you take it with a grain of salt, but it was interesting that when I put Dreadnought's Japanese name into Google Translate, it came out as Scarlet Turtle, which is interesting, because Dreadnought is not red. However, what if its shiny was red? On Twitter, I actually shared somebody made a fan art of Dreadnought's shiny being Bowser's coloration, which was pretty cool. That would be a neat little Easter egg. Or just to make it red, then it would really be a Scarlet Turtle. And Danielle. Welcome. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Welcome to the stream/discussion. Make sure you say hi to the people on YouTube watching later. Okay, so let's go a little bit farther. Alright, so it's using... What is it using there? Like, Bullet Seed? No. Probably not Bullet Seed, actually. It doesn't look rapid fire. It looks like potentially a new attack, or just an animation I don't recognize, but it kind of looks like a physical attack, which isn't what I initially would have expected from Gossifleur, I guess. Then we have Dreadnought probably using Bite. It is the Bite Pokemon. What else is the Bite Pokemon? Is it Gabite? No, there's another Bite Pokemon. Alright, so we have catching a Pokemon. We have, oh, this looks, actually, that looks like the new iteration, or maybe they still call it Pokemon Refresh. It looks like Pokemon Ami / Pokemon Refresh here, because you have Sobble emoting with little hearts. So I suppose that means that that's returned. We see we run into trainers. Oh, wait, first of all, let's look at this area here. This is near that icy area that we could see on the region map. And I know this is just one small section, but this is... I love this coloration. It's amazing. It kind of looks like a sunrise or a sunset with, like, the pink reflection of light on the ice. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than I find it very cool. Alright, so we're fighting a black belt, I suppose. He's got his eyes closed, though, so is he trying to say he can beat us with his eyes closed? He's throwing out... Is this the one he throws out a sock? Oh, yeah, this is where we saw in the first trailer there's, like, beach chairs out here. So I don't know if this is a thing in the UK where there are beaches up north when it gets cold. I don't know, but I don't know if there's gonna be some kind of connection to game functionality, or if it's gonna be like the beach in Sun and Moon, where we had Pyukumuku, and you could do stuff there. Okay, so here we have Corviknight, everybody's favorite night bird. What attack is this? Could it be Brave Bird? I don't know. It could be Brave Bird. Could be a new... Oh my gosh. No, this could be a new attack. He just... Wait, let's watch that again. I did not see this at full speed the first time. Let's check out this attack one more time. He just strikes and then explodes. I should play it with sound. Well, I don't want to have the music get claimed, but I want to see if that was super effective, see if that was a flying type move. Like, it kind of resembled Brave Bird, but then there was an explosion, and I don't think Brave Bird usually has an explosion. So here we see the, where you can compare Pokemon to Breath of the Wild a little bit with this sweeping expanse, and in the distance, we can see the potentially Elite Four area. I don't know if we really confirmed what that castle is, but just the fact that you can see the castle from the overworld. It's very Legend of Zelda, even like Mario 64-ish, just to go way back, of just 3D free roam games. And so as far as we know, these games are only going to be free roam in the wilds areas, which I guess some people are a little disappointed that it's not everywhere. But two things: one, I can totally understand why it's not everywhere. I mean, you still have to keep this feeling like a Pokemon game, and I think if you switch immediately over to free roam, it'd be a little bit jarring. I feel like for me personally, I mean, it's not a big deal. The free roaming thing's not a big deal to me anyway, but because I just understand, like, I don't have a problem with the traditional way that, like, top-down style RPGs have been. But I think that to make too big of a change might affect things too much. Like, they want to keep things simple so that they don't mess with the other, like, there are consequences to trying to make things more free roam as far as what you can interact with, people trying to clip out of bounds, and anyway, the other thing I was getting at with this is that if this is just like to me a first step towards introducing a free roaming type of mechanic, and I think if it does well, if it seems to be successful, and if it doesn't cause too many problems, then it's going to be, I think in the future we might see more free roaming incorporated. We can at least hope. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I'm not in a huge, I don't have a huge desire. Like, I would be content if we never got free roaming in Pokemon, but I'm also more than happy to have it. I think it's pretty cool, especially going up to the Switch, going up to a big boy, like a real full-fledged console, so we can do more stuff. And more so than, like, because Pokemon Coliseum did that as well, but since they were sharing a disc with the actual Coliseum part of Coliseum, the single-player RPG was still very much like the regular RPG, other than, I guess, we got analog motion movement control. Alright, Danielle says, I saw the origin of the names on Bulbapedia. Well, was there anything particularly, like, was there any name origin that was, like, mind-blowing at all for you? Were they all pretty straightforward? So here we have a lovely lady Wobbuffet. Back up, you can see the beautiful lipstick. And then we got a couple more Wobbuffet over there in the wild. And then a Beware. So they're just hanging out, having a good time. And we got Hippopotas. I'm not sure what that is in the background. Actually, when they're moving, can we see? Are they all Hippopotas? Could it be Sandile? Although, actually, looking at the shape of the eyes, they're probably all Hippopotas. We have some Snover over here. Oh, this Rhydon walking through the sandstorm, to me, looks amazing. And they did mention that the Pokemon you find in the wilds depends on the weather, which is cool. And I'm wondering how the weather is going to function, if there's going to be, like, a predictable cycle of weather, if it's going to be completely random, if they're going to do, I don't know, some other way of incorporating the weather. Hello, Law Eagle! Welcome to discussion/analysis. Anyway, we have Rhydon walking through the sandstorm here, looking cool. We have Corviknight. This area is interesting. There's a lot of dead trees and stuff, and then looks like a body of water. I'm trying to remember where this shows up on the map. It looks just south of that train track area, though, so I suppose that's where it is. So we got Corviknight flying around. this is cool. So we have nighttime, obviously, there's some ghosts around, we see a Ghastly in the background, this awesome looking Golurk up front, and then Duskull, and another Ghastly that was just hiding behind Golurk. Alright, Gyarados and Frillish hanging out back there. I'm not sure what that pink thing is. I mean, it's something on the land. Oh no, that's one of those points where the beacon comes out of. So now we got Butterfree, and is that Rattata or Ape Bomb? Or it looks like something purple. I have ideas for you. And Talk. One, did they confirm if raids are online or only local? The phrasing leaves the online portion ambiguous. Right, because they said something like, they were specifically talking about raids, and they said, you can blah 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 raids with your friends locally. And then they did a more generic sentence that was like, and you can also play Pokemon with your friends online, or something like that. So the question is, was that meant to imply that you can do raid battles online with friends, or was that meant to imply that, like, hey, you can still battle and trade and all that stuff like you could in previous Pokemon games? I remember there was a bit of a miscommunication when they announced Let's Go, where they said something like, there's no Wi-Fi capability or something like that for these games, or there's no online multiplayer or something like that. And I think what it turned out, because you could still battle and trade like normal pretty much, but I think because people were asking, was there online co-op? Because you could do couch co-op with the two Joy-Con controllers. And I think that's what they were referring to, so that was like a little bit of a confusing communication. But in this case, I think it's, I don't know. I feel like, because if it were, I have to see how the raids are going to function. If they function like, let's say, Totem Pokemon battles a little bit, except where you have multiple Pokemon on your side versus the raid boss, I see no reason why this can't be online. Again, if it stays turn-based, I think it's fine. They should be able to do it online. If not, if it is real-time and they do something a little bit more like Pokemon Go, or like, since I've been playing it, Final Fantasy VII, where they have like turn-based, but it's also in real time, where it makes the online portion difficult. It makes the online aspect difficult because of if there's delays or lag or whatever. If it's time dependent, basically, then I would guess you probably won't be able to do it online. I get this feeling that we're going to be able to do it online, though. But then people were asking, because Mario Maker 2, there was a whole kerfuffle about how, oh, there's online co-op multiplayer, whatever, for Mario Maker. And then it came out like, but it's with random people only. You can't, make a group of friends and do it. Which, I don't know. I don't think Pokemon would do it. Like, Pokemon is more designed to be multiplayer, so I get the feeling I feel like they should make you be able to do online multiplayer with your friends, but hey, who knows? We won't know for sure until they announce. All right, let's go down. Why is Sonia best girl? Is it the hat, the hearts in the hair? Wait, does she have a hat again? I forget. Let me scoot over here again. No, she has the glasses, though. The hearts in the hair are pretty cool. And the wavy hair is neat. Title Tyrant is ready. Also, Sakahiro is here. That face when there is no now going live on Discord announcement. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Sakahiro. The reason is because I had to start talking right away, because I want to just directly export this to YouTube. What's turn-based? We were talking about the raids, whether the raids are going to allow for online co-op, because they were vague about how they worded it, and I said that I think if it's turn-based, just like regular Pokemon battles, then there should be no reason for them not to allow you to do online co-op. I mean, if you can do Smash Bros. Online with friends, you should be able to do this. But if not, for some reason, it's in real time, then maybe not. But they were really vague about the wording, because they said you can do the raid battles with couch co-op with friends, and you can also play Pokemon online with your friends, like, in a more general sense, like, hey, you can trade and battle with friends like you always have been able to. That could be one way to take it. But I feel like you should, because now that would be an awesome opportunity for streams to just go on and do raid battles with people. I think that, I really hope they allow you to do online with friends, because for me at least, to do streaming, that would be a lot more fun. Just be able to do stream raids with friends. And other games that have raids let you do it with friends over the internet, so why not? Okay, Danielle says, most names are so far kind of obvious except the legendaries, and then had said, I like Dread plus Gnaw, but I guess it's obvious to a native English speaker. It is, but it's also, it's not just Dread Gnaw, it's also like Dreadnought, like, which makes it seem like some kind of military battleship, which means maybe if this thing evolves, it gets its inspiration from some kind of battleship, which would be cool. Okay. Law Eagle question. Did I get Law Eagle's question number 3? The chat's actually popping today, which is cool. Alright, if you had a tool in the game to control the weather, what would you have for it to be? I'm all for Ocarina. Oh, so a tool to control the weather. So thinking, because in the wild, right, we were talking about how does the weather change in the game? Is it going to just happen naturally? That's a good question. Some kind of, I mean, having an Ocarina would be like, hey, you thought we were like Zelda before. Well, just hold on to your hats. But I could see it being some kind of tool like that. We already have, you know, the Poke Flute in this universe, which has special powers to awaken sleeping Pokemon. Unless they do it like you call upon the power of a Pokemon that has Drought or Drizzle or whatever the Sandstorm one is that I suddenly can't think about. Sandstream, that's what it is. Or Snow Warning, like maybe you could call upon the power like we do with Ride Pokemon. Which reminds me, another tangent. I had mentioned something like, I wonder what they're gonna replace the other HMs for. Somewhere in here, did I find it? Yeah, wait. Somewhere back? There. They show the bike having a functionality to surf with it, which is kind of wild looking, but I guess that's cool. That's a way, because I had a feeling that Ride Pokemon were going to be a Alola exclusive, but we already have Corviknight, which is going to be our fly means of transportation, and then we have, wait, yeah, we have the bike. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. By the way, Tidal Tyrant, if you're still in there, did you want to join on a call? And Surakahiro? Actually, anybody else? Any of you guys? I'm gonna call you guys and see if any of you want to talk. In Streamu Chatu on Discord. Alright, now where was I answering questions? So Danielle, it would be cool if you could join a session and run around together online. Yeah, that I will definitely do that for streams if that's a possibility.
What the
oh,
hell
hey,
is up?
Tyrant!
Yo.
Okay, so I'm...
Alright, so what's the topic at hand?
I'm just scrolling down the comments right now. Let's see. Sarkahiro said, it did sound like we could do online raids, or at least that's what it sounded like. I think that's what they meant, but they were just a little vague with how they worded it.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering how we're gonna do the whole, capture the Pokemon. I mean, like, I heard some things say, oh, you can catch, or like, there'll probably be, like, copies of it, or that, or like, just one person catches it. I kind of think it might be the person who went giant might get it, but that's
yeah, that would be it. Hi, Surakahiro. So, right now I'm playing the video of the female trainer shaking the berry tree, which is kind of a neat little animation there.
Actually, there's something about that berry tree that was mentioned by a very trustable source who actually predicted Dynamaxing to be a thing. They said they're going to be a certain Pokemon to be in that tree if you shake it enough. Because,
yeah, that would make sense because, well, that happened last time with Crabrawler.
The Chipmunk is going to be like angry that you're taking all this food away and it's going to attack you. So,
yeah, that reminds me. Here's the Chipmunk. Let me try to zoom in on it. In the
Yeah, like that freaking kid was wearing a freaking
Yeah,
sweater.
they found it on
with a
someone's
chipmunk on
sweater, and they found it in the trailer. There's this one little shot of like this squirrel chipmunk Pokemon thing in the audience cheering along.
it. Yeah. Yo, not gonna lie though, I am definitely catching that Corviknight. I don't know if anyone else will. I'm pretty sure everyone else will because it looks
pretty
freaking
cool.
awesome. I feel like it's gonna be like a better Skarmory or like a more.
Seems like it would be. Someone told me
because they only give it. I mean, they only give pressure to Pokemon that are either going to be legendaries or very strong Pokemon, like Weavile or like Absol or like literally any other Pokemon with pressure.
yeah. Someone
They don't just
Someone
give
commented on my
any-
other video that supposedly one of the leaks said that Corviknight is related to an existing Pokemon, but I can't think of what
yeah.
that would be
So,
off the top of my head.
actually, I have a little bit of a theory on that.
Oh god, here we go. What's
Shut
the
up.
theory?
Alright, so, well, it's not really a theory, it's just something I was kind of stirring on. So, we have regional variants. So,
Oh, yeah,
I
this
thought
is
it
a
might
big
be hypothetically possible that, let's just say we have a, Galleon, Murkrow, or Galarian Murkrow, something.
Oh yeah, I believe
behaves
there is
differently.
going to be some here because
Hang on,
the
hang on.
same. No, like, let me tell you, like this reasonable source that I was mentioning earlier. They also said there's going to be a regional variant for what was it, Farfetch? I think it was. So I don't know what that's going to be like, but it is a very reasonable source apparently because like he's been calling a lot of the predictions on point. He said the rival's name was Hop, which nobody believed. That's who would name
But
this
somebody
Hop.
did.
So,
Yeah, he called it. He said the rival was going to be Hop, and it turned out to be Hop. He even started talking about Dynamaxing, which also was a thing, and it's like, huh, like what's Dynamaxing, and why would there be a giant
Right.
Pikachu out of nowhere? And he called it, and it's like, well, this guy is getting a lot of credibility now. So
Right.
he's saying stuff now that's going to be like Galleon, like regional variants, like Farfetch. I forgot what other Pokemon he said, but there's going to be regional variants here. That's for sure. So it's not really like, well, okay. So like your theory is more so correct.
Wait,
just-
wait, let
Yeah, but you were
okay.
going on
All right, but
about
let's
variants.
let Tyrant get to the, I guess, punchline, as it were, of the theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole thing was, in addition to an Alolan form, or I'm just gonna call it Alolan form just to make it easier, that a Pokemon of that variety might actually change into something different. Because we already saw an evolutionary difference between Sandshrew and its original Sandslash, where you would just level it up. Whereas now we actually have to have a stone for it. So I thought it'd be hypothetically possible that a Pokemon like, let's just say Murkrow, might evolve differently. Like, a level 32, it turns into Corviknight. That's what I wanted to say. But it's still like
Right,
regional.
in that region,
Like
but
flying.
so, but not like, cause like on the other hand, you had Execute and Pikachu and Cubone, where you just level them up or use the same item that you would normally use on them, but then because they're in that region, they evolve into their variant. But it's the same evolution method. Versus with Vulpix and Sandshrew, they have a separate item to use to evolve it differently. Is that what you're talking about?
In addition to Murkrow also being a regional variant itself, yes, essentially. Like, whereas like a Sinnoh Murkrow is going to turn into a Honchkrow with the
Right.
Dusk Zone, a Galarian, which might be a Steel Flying, will turn into a Corviknight through like Lincoln Park Stone. or
That
something
makes
like
sense. Oh,
I mean, I highly doubt Murkrow would turn into Corviknight.
It's a possibility.
yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not
I
saying
don't
it's
know.
confirmed.
Yeah, it is a possibility, but at the same time, it's like.
But then again,
Yeah.
it might be a regional Murkrow.
Right.
Like a
I don't know if I
Steel
buy
Flying
it.
Murkrow.
However, that concept in general would be pretty cool to add, to have variants and then different evolution methods.
Yeah.
Also, side note, this
Like-
kid's hat over here on the left
I hate it. It's,
Is-
it's so big.
is it?
This man has the warmest head on earth.
I know, like I'm not saying the hat is ugly or anything like that. It's like, why is the hat so big?
I mean, but right, he wants to be
Bro,
very
like-
warm.
like, I don't know where you've been from, my guy. Like, okay, first of all, you have on a ginormous shirt under it, and you have a big jacket on top of it. Not only that, you have a hat that's like, you have a hat that's like 19 millimeters thick.
That.
And then you have like this other girl next to you that's wearing like short shorts, and she's like not affected at all. It's like, bro, like, how cold are you?
Wait. Is that guy wearing a Hawaiian shirt?
Kind of. Yeah, he's got a winter. Yeah, he's got a winter hat and a Hawaiian shirt and a varsity jacket with 3/4 sleeves.
Like, everyone else over here is all casual, like a little sweater. Like, okay, yeah, I can see that. It can be a little bit nippy, but
I think they're just trying to prove that you can customize your whole outfit. And in fact, it might mean that they've added jackets or outerwear as a separate clothing item, which was something we couldn't do before.
To be honest, I'd be very happy if I could take my hat off in this game, because in Sun and Moon I was angry I couldn't do that.
Couldn't you do it in Sun and Moon? Wasn't it X and Y that you couldn't do that?
No, you could do it in X and Y. You just couldn't do it in Sun and Moon. But in X, in Ultra Sun Ultra Moon, the hat, you can change the hat out. No, you couldn't change the hat out. You had to wear it.
You know what bothered me the most, though, in Sun and Moon? Is that, yes, most of the area was warm, so you wouldn't need a jacket. But when you go up to Mount Lanakila for the Pokemon League, it's freezing, and you don't have any option of warm clothes to wear. Like in X and Y, the climate varied.
And then you're like up there like unfazed.
So this idea that you can they have an extra outerwear clothing item would be pretty cool.
I mean, there is like a little blizzard storm going on when you find Avalo.
Yeah.
So it would be pretty reasonable to know that you have access to, like, hey, I don't know about you, but you could be warm over here.
Why, hello.
What's that?
It is the Eagle of Law.
Oh.
Just got off a call, figured I'll just drop in. Spread the good word of Sonia.
Oh man, I was just talking.
This man is a man of culture, I see.
Thank you.
I was just talking about that.
Sonia's best waifu.
I don't know why people are saying that she's the best already. Like, she could be the most vile person.
So you can tell
already
when somebody clicks with the internet by how fast porn is made of them. And I bring this up because that's what happened in Overwatch, and that's what happened.
You know, it's crazy because you think Banana would be getting mad at someone else because of this, but she.
It's out of my hands now. This stream has completely gone off the rails. I'm out of control.
You know, normally she'd get like really mad at me if I were to. I've
never gotten mad. Of all the times that people on calls have slipped up or said something, or I usually just laugh because it's usually a highlightable moment, like the time. Like the time that Fwad slipped up on stream just out loud.
Oh, you mean like?
But the time that he did it that one time, and then there was like a 10-second delay, and we were all quiet, and then he's like, "Oh no!" So.
Yeah, she's just taken a new life, and it's really funny.
And then you have Magnolia over there, like all.
Yeah. she
I want to make a comment here about this shot of the Raid Gyarados and the Dynomax Raichu, because it could just be the camera angle, but proportionally speaking, that Raichu is a lot bigger than that Gyarados.
Doesn't?
It is.
Doesn't the Dynomax Pokemon look like they're like neon?
Yeah, they got like kind of a glow around
That's what
them.
It looks like to me. It looks like here's like, hey, we're gonna like super highlight it. That's why when they shoot it off in the Coliseum.
I feel like it's more like the light being reflected off the clouds and the flora underneath them. It's like
now they did say it could only be done in certain places, so I don't know if the location has.
Well, yeah, like in certain places being like the Pokemon gyms where they've been modified for Dynamaxing, and like raids like this are like two prime examples.
That's why to me it seemed like a super like a cyberpunk concept, or like Blade Runner. It's like in these locations you'll have giant like projected Pokemon.
Oh.
And actually, to be honest, I feel like since you have a ginormous wild area to be in, that also be a prime area to use Dynamaxing, because I haven't really seen any normal trainers in that whole wild area that's been being shown.
I just realized something. So, like, in Pokemon Go, when you catch raid Pokemon, you have basically Premier Balls as the Pokeballs you use. When this Pokeball turns giant, it's a giant Premier Ball.
Brilliant observation.
Yeah.
Same as the normal Pokeball that you had with Raichu and you threw it upwards. It turned into a Premier Ball.
I didn't know. It didn't click with me until just now, though. It's like, oh, hey, that's white and red.
I mean, just slowly rewind, and you're gonna notice that the female trainer had a normal Pokeball, and then she like Dynamaxed it, and it became white. Like, just because it looks like a Premier Ball doesn't mean it's going to be.
Oh, also, one more thing, because when I went back, I noticed something. Her wrist thingy that does the Dynamax, but she like activates it before she sends out the Raichu. And as a regular Raichu, I mean, unless it's cut.
No, it's more so like just an indicator to show that this is like hey.
Well, I was wondering, like, unless it's just cut that way so it's spliced together. But what I was wondering is, would that possibly be a way of indicating that you have to declare ahead of time which Pokemon's going to be a Dynamax Pokemon for the battle?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, and
that sounds like a cool
strategy.
I mean, if you think about it, this is actually done like with every other kind of like ring or bracelet. Like back in X and Y, they kind of like the same thing with the Mega Bracelet, and the same with Z rings. It's kind of hard to say. Like they was mostly doing this to indicate, hey, this thing right here is very important, and it kind of made you think that watching the direct, like watching it, it's like, huh. Why did that glimmer like that? And then they showed you why it glimmered like that. It's like, now watch this. You doubted this game, but now you're not gonna doubt it anymore.
Well, also, let's look at the position that she's in.
Well, she's also
well, right. That's what I was noticing. Like, so what I'm wondering is, there are a couple options. One is there like a leader, basically, the one whose cartridge you're playing on, or the one, or you know, or is it just your perspective when it's your game? But then Raichu's the one who goes Dynamax, so he'd be in the back row so that he has room.
Then there's also the idea of team formations that you could actually like pick out how you want to do it, like clear back.
Well, maybe the one in the back is the one who Dynamaxes too.
Exactly. Like the one. I mean, think about it. If you go Dynamax with a Golurk, like right next to your partner, hypothetically speaking, that thing will get crushed. I mean, not really, but like, yeah, it's probably safer for the trainers to have the giant ass Pokemon in the back
behind you. So even if you were next to your ally, it wouldn't really bother them much.
I mean, let's be real. We'd have like a 200 foot tall Tyrantrum step on like a poor little Joltik that my buddy
I saw a Twitter comic that was like Joltik, and it was like, you know, this big because it's like 8 inches, and it goes Dynamax Joltik, and then it's like as big as a phone. Like still fits in her hand.
Okay, so like you know that you so like you know that you throw the Pokeball behind you, right? You're not throwing it at your ally. You're throwing it behind you.
Right, but still, like, you could hit the guy in the back. I mean, I'm just saying, it's probably a lot easier for distance and attacks.
Like, hey, friends, heads up.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's probably the reason why it's out back, just so it's a lot safer.
Right, and she also throws the Pokemon behind her too, right? Like we said.
But you still wouldn't like throw it at somebody, you know, like we're just thinking out loud. Like you're not gonna throw it at your partner. It's like, hey, I'm gonna crush your Pokemon. Heads up.
I mean, also, how close do you actually want your Pokemon to be to the other one? I mean, this looks like a safe distance, right?
I also don't think it's something you brought up earlier. You know, who gets to catch it? I can't imagine that not everyone can catch it.
I feel like whoever did the most work would have the ability to catch it, and more so like if you more so want it. I mean, I don't know. There's been quite a few Pokemon I've seen in this in the raid show off where it's like I do not care for these, like Duck Trio. No.
By the way, is this Squirrel Chipmunk Pokemon eating Doritos?
It looks like it's pooping them.
Dropping them out of his tail. He's holding one in his hands, though. So does he just not digest them very well? There's a black Dorito, too.
Banana.
Or maybe he just, like, sheds or something, and that's supposed to be fur?
Galleon Pichu confirmed.
Right?
Also, I like what you said about I don't know if it was to me or on here. It's very soccer themed. Even the way she threw the giant Pokeball, it was a throw in.
Oh, I'm seeing little Pokemon in the crowd. I see Riolu.
I see a
Score
Munchlax.
Bunny. Wait, are you new ones?
Well, right, that's where they saw the chipmunk in here somewhere.
Actually, no, they're all teasing that, hey, these could be some new Pokemon, but they're not. Just Pikachu, Vulpix,
and the squirrel chipmunk. We got the squirrel chipmunk.
There's the Riolu.
So we're in Cleveland.
Yeah,
oh,
there's some Munchlax.
Oh, and there's the
Riolu,
one
Score
shot
Bunny.
of the Rotom drone. Did you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually like that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Like when I saw the point, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a Rotom, definitely.
Yeah.
And so also the
Talk about Milo.
Rotom phone.
I,
That.
by the way, guys, let's take a moment to admire the fact that Milo has the face of a Bulbasaur.
He's the face of a Ditto.
Oh,
He
Detective
looks like he has seeds
Pikachu
on his
crossover confirmed.
We haven't even theorized about what's going to be the villain of this story. The villain is Ditto
No, that's
Uprising.
because they're not trying to show it off.
It's a Ditto Uprising, and he will be a
So
Ditto.
I don't know why.
With their eyes.
There's that face. I don't know why, but when they first revealed the champion, the very first thought that came to my head is, will he be a secret villain? And I don't know why, but for some reason,
he looks way too kind.
yeah, I mean that would
to
be
a villain.
that. I mean, because
But I can agree with you. Like maybe he has some kind of twisted, positive look on the world, just like Lysandra did. Like he thought everything was beautiful, but he was going like the entirely wrong way of trying to make it.
so he's
better.
Milo's number 831, and the player was number 65. I don't know if there's supposed to be any significance. I wonder if you have any control over your jersey number.
So I have two theories. One,
What
my
are
little
these
bro
two
actually
theories?
suggested this. Okay,
Wait, what?
so my little bro suggested this one actually. That essentially you can just change it as to like what you want, and you can have all those cute little numbers you associate yourself with. That, or I had a weird theory at work today. What if it's your position? Like what if there's like a hierarchy of each trainer,
That's
right?
cool. See, I'd be.
So what sparked that was Leon has number
True.
1, and he's supposed to be the top
True.
trainer. And you could start off as like
But then why is the
999
gym
to
leader
work
like
your way up.
900 and you're 65 if you haven't beaten him yet?
He sucks.
Maybe.
He's the face of a Ditto. That's why.
I mean,
Also another theory I forgot to mention that he said it could be the Pokedex number of his signature Pokemon too.
That
After all,
could
it is
be.
800.
I mean, the champion has a Charizard, but
well,
his
it
ace will
wouldn't
be Bulbasaur
updated until you
confirmed.
get national dex. Otherwise, it'd just be number.
Or at least that probably was
so like,
Milo's
we're starting from
Pokemon.
number 1 over again, right? So like
Right.
this would have to be based on national dex.
Yeah, it would have to be based on national dex.
Because since this is a whole new region with new Pokemon, we're starting
Or
from
if
1
just
over.
all the numbers don't necessarily have the same reason for the way they are, but just each one of them has a reason unique to that person.
Or at least
Yeah.
it might be Milo's case that he has 831 as his Pokemon's number, and that might just be where it appears in the Pokedex.
Or it could just be a normal jersey with a number way too many
There are
numbers
very
on it.
few
I mean, it's
There are
probably
very few pure coincidences, though, when it comes to Game Freak.
Exactly. I mean, this might not be anything major, but it's just
Like
Just
I
really
feel like
Including their ambiguous phrasing.
Like I don't think they intended us to be looking into this kind of stuff. It's like, well, we just made it 823 just to make
Yeah.
823.
You know what it is about what's his name, Leon? It's his beard.
He looks
It's his
he looks like
beard.
Senbei from Magi.
His
His
beard
beard.
is a little bit unusual. His beard matches his eyebrows, but not his hair. He does.
it looks like he just like shaved one part of his beard and said, you know what, F it
Well,
today. I look
he just took a
fabulous.
razor and just he just
Look at the
I'm sorry for
Charizard
today.
looking
My
menacing
razor's
in the
broken.
background.
He just took the razor and put it right down his face, and that was it.
Actually, I do want to talk about that
Okay.
Charizard. So,
Yeah,
another
if you have
part
a
of this,
Charizard, he's champion.
so another part of this leak was Gigamaxing or Gigantamaxing or whatever that was.
Yeah, that was part of the.
Yes, that's what I just established. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I was trying to say
I'm
here
the one
is
telling you this.
they change forms when they Gigamax.
No, it's called Gigantamaxing, not Gigamax.
I was just briefing. What I'm trying to say here is Charizard might get a Gigamax form, Gigantamax form, possibly. I mean, it'd be a little stupid considering he already has 2 Megas.
More
so,
Charizard love.
Yeah.
I mean, there's worse.
I mean, of course they would show the Kanto starter is the most loved in all these games because like they're the first Pokemon that you would get back in Kanto.
Yeah, that's what I'm just like. That's what I'm thinking. It's like they're just gonna give Charizard more love just because he's a Kanto starter. He's one of the
More like
favorites.
he's probably the most favorite Kanto starter because nobody ever chooses like Squirtle or like Bulbasaur as often as they choose Charmander.
They're
Unless
more
they're
intelligent.
Banana.
But
Unless they're
anyways.
Banana, who will always choose Bulbasaur
Bulbasaur forever.
and never in the light of day look at Charmander and be like, I'm gonna go with Charmander today.
Look, I love all the Kanto starters, but Bulbasaur is Bulbasaur, so...
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're never gonna look at Charmander. You're never gonna be looking at Charmander and Bulbasaur and have to like decide between the two.
I wanted like 5 Bulbasaur when I saw the Pikachu movie. Their noises were just too cute. My God, can we change the Bulbasaur cry to that?
Well,
It's
I don't know.
adorable squeaky-
I kind of
too
missed the anime
It'd be too
sound.
different.
However, that one scene where all the Bulbasaur come out, I said out loud in the theater, I said, "It's like heaven."
Oh my God! I was so disappointed we didn't get to see Venusaur though. Okay, anyways,
All right,
we're
so
off
we
topic.
got.
Oh no, I was gonna say, my last tangent was because since I joined late, I don't know if you answered the chat question by a Law Eagle. If you were Pikachu, what hat would you wear?
Oh yeah, I didn't get to that one.
Oh my God!
That's an interesting way. Well, probably not that big fluffy hat that one trainer was wearing.
It's like going off on hats. I think you're right about the outerwear, by the way, because isn't that in Pokemon Go as well? It seems like they're taking quite a bit from that.
Do they have jackets in Pokemon Go? Well, they have where like you can have sort of like a jumpsuit over top
blazer.
of your. Yeah, kind of. But they do have like you can have a jumpsuit over top of like leggings or something for the. I don't know about the guy character, but for the girl character. All right, so we have. Let's see. I remember this game, Zamazenta.
Yeah,
Zamazenta
Big Shield
and
Gardna
Zacian.
over here.
Not gonna lie, it kind of annoys me a little bit when people start saying Zamazenta wrong. It was like, bro, he just said it for you. Like,
Yeah.
they just said it for you in the trailer. How are you getting the name wrong?
And then this cool shot right here where we have Zacian.
Not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of Zacian's design. Like, he's holding a sword in his mouth when he could have had like these sword on his like these like blades.
Well,
on
if we
his, like,
if we
arms
look
and
at
stuff.
if we look at what it says on the website, it's like he's carrying what appears to be a sword. So maybe it's actually
Yeah, like, that's
maybe it's
what I'm
actually
saying, like-
part of him.
No,
Actually,
That would be an
it's
interesting
not, because,
observation.
like listen. Like when he opens up his mouth early, you can actually see it tilt down as if he could let it go as easy as possible.
Well, it could be like for Smash, they were so adamant on not saying
Yeah.
the word gun until it was Joker, and he's like, until Joker came in, he's like, oh no, that's a gun. Like, even
Yeah, but
Bayonetta, she
the
doesn't
gun
use a
is like almost useless. Like the gun doesn't do much. No one.
Well, in a
like,
in a
it's
game
very
where
rare to
you
see
have
somebody
like
use a gun.
magic and psychic powers and can summon explosions,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
eh.
Yeah, like it's good to an extent, but like when you're playing Joker, like there's a very rare case where
Okay.
you'd use the gun.
Well, it's more to the fact they just don't want to use the word gun, despite there's other terrifying stuff in Pokemon.
Okay, so how about this? speculation of types. I feel like these guys are probably part steel type, but steel fighting?
Yo, somebody actually thought that Flashing was going to be like steel flying.
Well, he does have like wing things, but I would highly doubt that he's going to be flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think like I can definitely see that Zamazenta might be a steel type because look at that freaking shield name. You cannot look at that and not say it's going to be a
Yeah, I
steel
mean
type.
it seems like that would be an easy guess.
Right?
So, some interesting. So, this is going to sound strange, but I think they might both be pure. As strange
Pure
as it is to
steel?
say. So I'm a huge fan of Arthurian legend, and I can honestly see the Excalibur reference here with Zaishin. Other than like light and like all that gold stuff, I don't really think King Arthur has any reference to any other type of element that would correspond to Pokemon other than dragon, and I don't really see a dragon as wolf, so I think possible just pure steel, both, possibly.
Well, in the Credible Leak, they said there's going to be a third evil legendary, and it is looking to appear that way because towards the end of the showing off trailer for these two legendary dogs, it looks like they're getting ready to fight something together.
Yeah, like the wind.
Yeah, the wind starts.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that shot. Yeah, there's the leaves.
So it being a dragon might be a dragon, since again we won't know.
There's
until
what
we
that
see
legend
more.
about the dragon
And
that
here-
the two dogs killed or something like that.
Oh yeah, the one that
I mean,
ruffled Raleigh.
like Skull and Hachi.
No, that's Norse. That is the wrong.
There is
side of
somebody.
Europe.
There are some people who are saying that this is a Norse reference, but I feel like it would be more appropriate to be an English reference. However, we did have Norse mythology in France, so I guess anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we also had a wolf and a sun Pokemon, but I mean, let's just ignore that fact. Anyways, so I'm really getting an Arthurian vibe off of both of these guys. I'm not sure like where this would go, but I can obviously see Zentana or
Zamazenta?
Zen. Thank you. Being the shield Pridewind, which King Arthur obtained at one point, and obviously Zaishin is actually Excalibur. So I can see some sort of divine weapon. If I had to make a theory about the third legendary, the evil one, we may see a fairy type or fairy dark type that has some connection to Morgan Le Fay, if you're familiar with her.
I doubt it'd be a fairy type.
No, Morgan Le Fay literally means Morgan the Fairy. She's supposed to be like this evil like fairy that hates King Arthur because he's their brother and sister, and she just doesn't like him.
So what would it be like? Would it be a humanoid creature?
Mostly Morgan Le Fay is usually just an old hag or like a beautiful woman.
It's
So
Professor
you're-
Magnolia.
Oh shit.
Oh my god! Confirmed, but yeah, we may see like a dark queen fairy like Pokemon, I would guess, or something along those lines. Maybe even a raven, which she was almost obviously very close with or associated with. Yeah.
Also, this is interesting.
Oh, did we just figure out the bag?
Also, this is interesting. Reminds me of how they had Solgaleo and Lunala's forms where they were like whatever they were called, full moon or whatever, where they turned white.
Yeah.
So like you can see the shield got bigger and the sword got bigger and they're glowing. So I don't know if this is special form.
Yeah, almost like Zekrom and Reshiram.
Could these two merge somehow? Probably not, but
Actually, people are like starting to speculate that they have a way to like merge together, some way or another.
also this animation of them being
so
colored
there's
in is
no
pretty
way
cool.
to like know.
In slow motion, it's
It is.
in slow motion
Oh.
it's extra cool. Like, just check this out.
Yo, do you know what I hate? People are saying that these cover designs look pretty bad, and I'm like, bro, they're probably a lot better than what you.
Yeah.
Shut up.
No, I mean, I kind of thought that as well, where the box art
Like-
wasn't, didn't thrill me, but it wasn't because of the designs. I think it was just it was a little bit not what I'm used to just have, like, it's like blank and then just the image. Like, but it's not a...
Yeah, like how they
it's
did
not
it
a
was
problem.
little bit weird, but at the same
It's not a
time,
problem with
it's
the
like-
artwork. It's just a strange, like, placement, I feel like, where it's just them on the
Yeah,
background.
it's like, again, it's kind of weird how they did it, but
They look
it's
a little
not
bit-
bad. It's good, and I like it.
Oh, so Danielle has an interesting observation. Look at this shot.
Who?
Zacian looks like it could be steel ice, and Zamazenta looks like it could be steel
Is that
fire.
with that last shot where they're
Oh,
glowing?
I'm talking about Danielle.
So let's be real, that would be my like absolute that would make my day if I saw that.
But
Like,
it'd be
if
a
they were
shame if
fire
they were
like-
put into Uber at almost immediately. That would be a shame, because then, like, I wouldn't be able to use them.
I mean, that would be interesting. I mean, steel ice would be a
But
little...
still ice, though. That might be, like,
Steel ice would be maybe an unfortunate typing, although it's a neat typing, like... Actually, offensively, it would be a good typing. Defensively, though, it's not good. Which, actually, for a sword, is pretty good.
Which literally might be.
Actually,
And then a shield, I mean, fire, steel is not the best defensive typing, but it's not bad. Put an air balloon on it, and it's pretty good.
Get earthquaked, my guy. Get 1,000 arrows, son.
just tie a balloon to Vacine's tail or something.
That would be...
Get
That'd be
1,000
interesting. You see a little
arrows,
balloon
son.
on him, and he's just, like, hovering 2 inches above the ground.
I am invincible!
It's like a little tiny balloon on his tail. It's like it's still on the ground. Oh, heavy.
Alright, let me see if there's anything else to look at. Well, let's see. There's Sonia. And I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, because she was in the beginning of the trailer, she's wearing her purse under her jacket, which I thought, like, that's strange, but it's kind of
No.
functional, so you can take your jacket
Since
off
we've
easily.
already passed the point of like messing up, I'm just gonna say this right now to Professor Magnolia. Your granddaughter is snack.
Good night,
I thought
everybody.
You just said that Sonia was I thought you just said Sonia was a sadist.
When I say she was a sadist.
by having her
No.
prisoner, I'm like, what?
Let's
No,
not tempt
but
Roper
the
before
thing
here.
that my
No, but for real
my
though, for real though, like,
my
she might be the
theorized
most
reason that she
powerful person
actually-
you've ever met, at the same time,
my theorized
visually,
reason
she kind of
my theorized reason why she actually has her purse on the inside is a lot less of an interesting reason, which is just that so that they don't have to deal with the model of the purse being on top of the model of the very big jacket and having to deform the jacket in a realistic way. That's my completely uninteresting but probably
Or they could
realistic
just-
explanation for it.
Or you know, they could just not give her a purse at all. Just make it a lot less weird.
So, to expand on that, actually, do you remember when Oras was coming out and we didn't see Archie or Maxie's Megastone?
Right.
Well, that's because they were on like their glasses and like. Okay, so like, what
They
was
were
Archie's
covered.
again?
Exactly. They were
What was
covering it.
Archie- No. Like Maxie had it in his glasses, but he just.
Yeah, his hand was over
Right,
it.
so it was
So,
covering it.
hypothetically speaking,
What was Archie's again? Was it like on his bandana somewhere, or like?
yeah, it was his mega anchor. He had his
Yeah,
hand
so
over
they
the
like they
stone
were
itself.
specifically
Oh, yeah,
so in
yeah,
other words
it
they
was on
were
the thing.
deliberately drawn to hide the fact that they had megastones.
Now, to expand on your theory, Banana, I mean, it's possible, but I kind of wonder if it isn't possible also that there might be something on that bag that might be some sort of either spoiler or something.
Could be. She's got some important item. Oh, which reminds me, speaking of items, I mentioned this earlier, but now I have people to talk about. I mentioned this too, but then I saw somebody else mention that the necklace that Magnolia is wearing looks like a Z crystal. And someone else made the point that she looks
it?
like she's dressed like an Aether Foundation member, which I'm like, well, not really, because she's just got a lab coat. But if she's got a Z crystal on her neck, then maybe.
Does that mean we can battle her?
Maybe. She's also got whatever Corviknight on her cane. It looks like Corviknight at least.
Or what?
Yeah, that is
Oh.
kind of permanent.
Oh yeah, that's Corviknight. I was like, man, hold up. I need to take my glasses off. Need to zoom in real fast. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
think
this is the first time I've ever looked this close to an old woman.
As a
Last.
I'd say as a researcher, she's probably been to Alola and maybe has picked up a Z crystal for fun
I mean-
or something. I think it's possible, but
Yeah.
I honestly think it might just be, either something
Yeah, I
awesome
mean, I
or
doubt,
something more.
I kind of doubt there's any deeper meaning to it, but it could be at least an Easter egg, like, hey, she's got a Z crystal.
Yo, watch her have the freaking Professor Oak syndrome where it's like, who's this young man's name again? Like, you know what? I don't blame you, because I wouldn't take the time to remember his name either.
Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out this guy's
Yeah.
Japanese name, because Leon's Japanese name, because my katakana is rusty. It's Don something, I forget what the last syllable is.
You know what I would do at
What?
times like this, Banana? Go translate.
No, I am, but I have to know which, I have
Okay.
to remember which symbol it is.
Oh, it's...
Dande.
You can't
It's
like
Dande.
copy-paste it. His name's
Dande.
Dande.
I suppose with that knowledge, it might be a pun or something that might reveal his either intentions or
And
some.
interestingly, it translated to
I-
Dande with an accent
It's
on
kind
the
of
E.
weird how his name would like show off his team. Cause like remember Cynthia? Like no one knew about her whole team.
I was
Cynthia.
disappointed that she didn't have an Umbreon, because she looked like she had little Umbreon
I'm
things.
disappointed that she didn't have a
She had
Pokemon named
little
Cynthia.
Umbreon thingies in her hair. They had little things that looked like Umbreon
Oh.
ears.
Right. Like just because he has a certain name doesn't mean it's gonna like show.
But
off
I do
his-
think it's
like,
interesting that he
team.
both looks like
So-
royalty and a soccer player at the same time, because he has a cape and a soccer uniform.
His design
He has
is
a
really
cape.
cool.
He has a cape
He has,
and the
like,
tights.
Jack Atlas
He has a cape and the
syndrome
tights, like royalty, and then he's just like a
he has
soccer
some
player.
Jack Atlas syndrome going on here, where it's like he's the best, he dresses like the best, but at the same time, he's not afraid to act like the best.
Have any of you played Danganronpa?
Nope.
I saw the anime and I'm very familiar with the series. Yeah, what's up?
Okay. So when you're talking about, it could be a villain, secret villain, if it's already exposed, alright. Sonia looks like the person who, one, if she'd be a villain would be awesome, but that, like, when she snaps, it looks like the main villain of the first Danganronpa.
You mean Junko Inashima?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Yeah,
I can't
so-
unsee this now. I'm
I know.
scared.
Oh, do I have to
know,
try to
someone
look
posted
this up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sending you the two Google links. So like, cause like when she's like nice, it's like, oh, it's there's two pictures with giant URLs. But when it finally comes out, like, oh, she's the villain, it's like completely like 180.
Oh my god. I can
I'm
totally
also
see
excited
this.
for
Good
the
observation.
introductions.
Yeah, I think that would solidify her waifu status even more, being a villain. But be very interesting.
I
Will it
do
happen? I doubt it.
doubt that's the direction Pokemon will go. However, maybe.
That'd be cool. It'd be very different.
I mean,
It'd stick with
well,
people.
especially she has a big smile and she has hearts all over her, so it's clearly evil.
And big hair. Hey, you never know.
Pokemon
And in
fans
case
are
you were
pure.
wondering, Hop's name is Hopbu in Japanese as well, so they named
Even
him Hop,
worse.
basically.
Yo,
He
Over in
chooses,
Japan, they have it
he chooses
even
Score
worse.
Bunny regardless
Right.
of whatever you choose.
He does look like he would choose Score Bunny no
Irregardless.
matter what.
You have a Score Bunny too? That's awesome.
Even his design, though.
unfortunately, he also chooses the starter that's weaker to yours, just like how.
Alright, so we'll be getting... Alright, so actually, here's a question. Barring potential secret villain status, what do you think Sonia will do in the game? Will she do like a Cena and Dexio thing where she
His hair looks like an artichoke.
His hair looks like it does.
His hair looks like an artichoke.
So you think she might
I think
upgrade
so.
your Pokédex or something, or do things like that? Like, especially now that your Pokédex is a
Yeah.
phone with apps on it, I guess, where the Pokédex is just
Yeah.
another app that you have on the phone.
Your coverage is really bad here.
Yeah, it seems like she just kind of be that person who has all the like
Right.
extra Pokemon research. Like, oh hey, did you know Rotom can go in here?
Right,
Oh
let's pull
hey,
up
did
Rotom
you
phone, because
update
that
your
was,
Dex yet?
if I remember correctly, that was not in the direct. That was just put on the website, or was that mentioned in the? I went through the direct and I don't think.
I don't think it was mentioned.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah, I
even
don't think
see
it was.
this. For example, you can attach it to your bike to make it move faster on land, or it can even help you. So the phone is what
It's the
turns
phone
your
sensor.
bike into a boat. You know what?
So I think they're taking HMs
Move
out of the game.
over, Apple. Rotom phone is where it's at. Can the iPhone turn your bicycle into a boat? I don't think so.
Turn my legs into an Uber.
Well, I'm thinking they're just gonna take surf out of the game because, like, why do you need surf? You can just ride over.
Yeah. I mean, I figured when they said that Corviknight would fly you places.
Not like as a
yeah,
move, but like
but
as a
well,
mechanic.
like I figured. Well, first of all, I figured after Sun and Moon they probably would be done with HMs, but I didn't know how they were gonna do it because I figured Ride Pokemon would just be a thing for Alola. So when they said Corviknight will fly you places, I said, oh, I wonder what they're going to do. And then I didn't even notice until later when I watched the trailer again that you can turn your bike into a boat. And now I know it's the Rotom phone that does it. At first I thought Rotom turned into a bike. That would be interesting as well.
Rotom is just everywhere. It's like I swear, Rotom is now the new Sky. Like one day they're just gonna let that.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I love the direction they're going. Ooh, looks like all the new Pokemon, speaking of Pokemon.
Oh yeah, hold.
Did they say how many new Pokemon there are going to be?
I think so, but...
I don't think so.
We're either going to be really excited or really
We're getting close to
disappointed.
that magic number of 1,000, though.
We are.
No, we're gonna way past 1,000 in a second.
There is Wooloo. Oh yeah, that other ability gets us run
look
away.
at the small handful of Pokemon.
Wooloo. Oh, I didn't even see this where it's asleep.
So, like, what are you guys thinking this Wooloo is going to evolve into?
That's what I was saying. I hope it's either something super terrifying or just a super fluffy.
Look at how
giant
cute it is
version.
when it's asleep.
If this is gonna, if this Wooloo is going to experience the same experience that they gave to Furfurl, I'm gonna be angry.
Where it doesn't get anything.
Right, it's like, why are you gonna show me this cute, adorable sheep that I want to evolve so badly and then not evolve it? I'm gonna be angry. It's like, how dare you? This thing is gonna be
or
like,
low-key like,
for,
or low-key like they don't make it evolve,
the
but they make
entire
it Uber tier.
Even then, it's still gonna be like
Wooloo is
unusable
best
to like
mon.
an extent. It's like, I don't play Ubers though, so it's like
Right.
I'm never gonna.
Yeah,
be
I know.
able
You'd
to
have to
use-
make it OU, or you can't. If you make it any more than that, then it's bad.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what tier.
Well, you have to
goes
make it
it's just-
between.
At this point, it's like, if we don't make use of this and the ability to evolve it, I'm gonna be angry because there's so many things you could evolve it into. Like, evolve it into a goat, all I care. Make it into a very goofy goat. Do not make it.
So I'm looking
not
at Corviknight
evolved,
and
please do not give it the
looking at
Dunsparce
Corviknight and
syndrome.
trying to see where it could be
Awesome.
related to
Supposed to be
another.
7-3.
Corviknight actually looks amazing, and I believe it's going to be a standalone
My first
Pokemon.
instinct is that as well,
Agreed.
but I guess there's only one way to know.
Like, look at it. It looks too big to be a pre-evolution, and they wouldn't just show it off like this without a pre-evolution.
I mean,
you
they
know?
have sometimes, but yeah, usually they don't. Oh, look at this! He's the dashing,
Yeah, Noivern.
Lord of the Sky.
Who gives a pre-evolution? Who gives a pre-evolution pressure? That's what I want to know. Like, the only Pokemon that gets pressure and unnerve are like very strong Pokemon.
I mean, they did the same exact thing with Noivern. for
That's
the most
true,
part. I mean, they showed off like this big bad bat, and now we got like these tiny.
That's true.
Yeah, but like, I forgot its name. But like the pre-evolution of Noibat, that's what it's called. Noibat wasn't even huge. It didn't even have any like scary abilities like pressure or unnerve, did it?
I don't necessarily think the ability has too much to do with it. I'm just saying, like,
Well, I mean, when they give a Pokemon a certain ability, you can get an idea of it. It's like they wouldn't give pressure to a pre-evolution that's not going to be like early game or late game, you know?
well, I mean, they
wouldn't
really
do
haven't.
that.
They really haven't had a Pokemon with pressure in a while. So,
Well,
I mean,
also at the same time, it's like a lot of these early on moves, they don't really have like. Okay, so they're either not really usable or they're just not good starting off. So like having pressure that early on really wouldn't do much. Like, who's gonna be scared of Scratch or Tackle?
Yeah, I mean, well, pressure's
You
more
know?
useful for competitive anyway. Most of the abilities have the most use in competitive, but
You see, now cotton down is something I'm actually pretty interested in. Like like I don't know if it lowers the every Pokemon in the field stage by one, except
no, I think
for this
it's
Pokemon,
whenever you get
or-
attacked by, I think, a contact move. I think because isn't it the same as
Well,
like Gooey?
But then that's the same as Tangled Hair. But this doesn't have
Oh.
that specificness.
There was a place that there was, I forget which. It's weird that it's not on the same page as Eldegoss, but there was a place where it described its ability. But I do feel like depending on its stats, you're gonna see more use out of Regenerator Eldegoss.
The thing is that Cotton Down is different than Tangled Hair.
Cotton Down,
because,
when a Pokemon with this ability
Yeah.
is hit by an attack, it will send out Cotton Fluff that will lower the speed stat of... Oh, it does say other Pokemon. It doesn't specifically say the attacking Pokemon.
It doesn't say like necessarily has to be physical or like special. It's just saying that Pokemon will have their speed lower. Tangled Hair is way different in the sense where it's like, oh, you turned me, bet. Now you're slow. Oh, you want to Mach Punch me? You're not getting that priority anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, it's just weird how they did it, but it's similar, but at the same time, it's different.
Alright, so let's look at... So what do you think about Dreadnought? You think Dreadnought is gonna evolve or not?
I feel like it's gonna be like one of those really slow evolutions where it evolves like super late, because they did say that it's gonna be like a really hard Pokemon
That's
to
true.
train and all that.
Because he's only 3'3",
I mean,
but he's like
I
200...
feel like it's gonna
He's
evolve
only
late.
3'3", but he's more than 250 pounds, so... He's both small but
Yeah.
big at the same time.
He's a
Right.
small big boy.
So I have a weird headcanon
okay.
about this Pokemon. I feel like if
Okay.
this was like a real Pokemon, or like a real animal, this would be like illegal to own, considering like how aggressive they are. Like just reading the
You mean, like,
description of this thing,
snapping
like from like
Because
this
it's
thing went from
literally
like.
snapping turtle.
Well, I mean, look at its description. It's so vicious. People actually have to release it.
Wait a...
I mean, this. Like, I love this Pokemon to death, but like, it's terrifying.
So...
The
Now,
same-
first I
So,
kinda thought
so
about it
someone
replaced it.
did art on Twitter of a shiny version of Dreadnought that looks like Bowser's coloration, and then
I would actually never own this Pokemon.
and then
ever
I
again.
looked at the Mecha Koopa image because of the way that his jaw is, where he's got like the little circle, and
Oh my god. Oh
it
my
could
god.
work.
Like,
I
oh. Pre-evolution confirmed.
That's it.
Mario
That's his
crossover.
pre-evolution. Oh man, I gotta post that.
Actually, funny enough, I thought this Pokemon was supposed to look like a toy when I first saw it. Because like the
Right,
jaw
that's
and
what I
like
was
just
thinking.
how it looked like a very play school Pokemon. But then reading it's like, this is the Pokemon you don't bring to
Right.
preschool. This is the Pokemon that ate all the preschoolers. But regardless, I mean, if my profile picture wasn't enough, I adore this Pokemon to death, especially considering it's water and
Uh-huh.
rock, which is like, oh my god, nothing beats water. Let's forget that exists.
So, Danielle says he looks like he could have one evolution. I could see that. Like, even
I'd say
if
one
he's
or
not a
two,
dragon,
'cause,
like he looks like he could follow the dragon evolution line, like a two-stage dragon.
Well, you can see it clearly right there. It's
No,
water
but I
rock.
mean, like, if he could turn into a dragon or something when he evolves. But even if he doesn't, just
True.
follow along that same pattern.
I just highly doubt he'll. turn
Yeah, I
into a
kind of doubt
dragon.
it too. But
Or if he does, it'd be something pretty cool. Because like this Pokemon really looks pretty cool, starting off as a creator. But of course, you already know, I'm not gonna settle with no shell armor. I'm gonna be hunting for that strong jaw.
because he's the bite Pokemon.
No, it's more so because shell armor is kind of useless in like story
Yeah,
clearing,
usually.
You know?
Unless you're just like nuzlocking and
Actually,
trying not to
nice.
die.
Yeah, short. Well, I guess if you really want to go like that, but like, I'm not interested in like doing any challenge runs on like new
Yeah.
Pokemon games. I'm just trying to enjoy the story and just like go
Right.
through it.
Well,
on my
definitely,
own
especially the
pace,
first
you know?
time through.
So I would definitely hunt down a strong jaw one.
All right.
If I could shell armor, instantly releasing it. I don't care.
So with that though, well, we don't even know what hidden abilities are going to be. But anyway, with that, I think it's getting time for me to go. So anything else that we missed real quick before we close off today? Did we cover most everything, I guess?
Well, I should tell you what team I'm going to use for this entire playthrough.
Well, so far it's every Pokemon on the list, right?
No, Sobble, Dreadnought.
Sounds fair.
Well, it sounds like literally any electric type can kill you.
Well, screw that.
Oh, actually, you know what? I actually want to make a prediction on Dreadnought's ability being sturdy.
I can see that.
Yeah, I would totally want that. That just make this a perfect Pokemon.
And of course, just by looking at it, you can immediately tell this Pokemon's being Shell Smash.
Yep.
Why
I
wouldn't
could
it Shell
totally
Smash?
see.
Look at it. It looks aggressive enough to use Shell Smash, where it just wouldn't care about hurting itself just to like take you down, you know.
And so on starters,
and not gonna lie, I don't know if I don't know what starter I'm gonna pick, or if I'm even interested in even using the starter.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious at least from a, like, just to see where these designs are going. I'm curious to see their full evolution lines and what their typings end up being, but I don't know.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna like say much on it, but I do know for a fact what Sport Bunnies is gonna be. The other two isn't really.
Yeah, I've seen all sorts of theories for what they could be and the reasoning behind what the theme around it would be, but who knows at this point unless you actually know. Unless you're that person's leaking stuff.
Well, it's not just leaking, it's actually very credible.
Yeah.
And he did say what Square Bunny's typing was going to be, and I'm going to choose to believe it for now, because it's just the fact that he caught so many things perfectly on this last direct way before it even happened.
Now, was this the same leaker or a different leaker that got like 90% of the Sun and Moon predictions correct? There was one that called, like, there was only maybe one or two things out of a long list of stuff that was predicted that didn't end up being true.
I think they're both anonymous, so we may never know, but if I had to make a guess, they would probably be the same person.
Well,
so all I know is that what he's been calling lately has been pretty accurate. He has called some stuff that wasn't on the direct, but I just feel like that they just didn't show it off in this direct. It's one of the main reasons why we didn't see any of it.
Well,
like, he started going off and talking about Gigantamaxing in the same leak where he leaked Dynamaxing. And we clearly didn't see Gigantamaxing in this direct. So maybe the next one we'll get into Gigantamaxing.
We shall see. There is a rumor that there was a rumor, or I don't know where this came from, but that we might be getting another direct at the end of August, which I kind of hope they don't throw too much info out there between now and when the games come out. I'm pretty satisfied. Like, obviously I want to know more, but I'd rather know more as I play the game. So hopefully they don't put too much more. I won't be too upset if they reveal a little bit more, but I hope nothing else too big. Mostly that most of the Pokemon remain a mystery. Maybe reveal the starter evolutions, but not too many more Pokemon than that. I don't know.
Do you think?
Yeah, I would like that.
E3 surprise.
What's that?
Do you think there's going to be some?
I don't know. If
showing?
they're supposed to have a playable demo. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. No, they are.
Well, they're not gonna have it playable until like way later on.
No, you could probably play the demo at the
that's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think the demo's gonna be ready for an E3 for like another few months.
I don't know. Well,
like, of course they're gonna release the demo for E3 like way before they do for like everyone else to try it out, because like, hey, you paid a lot of money to be here.
Yep.
Here you go. You can now play this game like several weeks sooner than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, and that's what usually happens. But I guess we will find out as time goes by. So I'm gonna call it for now. I gotta do other stuff. So thanks to everybody who joined in the call and on the chat. This was a fun little discussion, and For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, hi. And yeah.
Hi.
So this was fun. So if we do indeed get any more Sword and Shield news, I guess we'll talk about it probably. So, for now, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!
Bye.
That was a thing.